Hey everyone, I'm going to run through the FoldingBrowser installation to help you get set up for earning CureCoin and FoldingCoin. So what you'll want to do is go download the installer from GitHub. And once you've done that, go ahead and run it. And we're going to run through it here. So what you'll want to do is just flip through the installer screens. There is an option to install the CureCoin wallet. Installing the CureCoin wallet allows you to earn CureCoin in addition to FoldingCoin, so it's recommended to install that. And it just goes through and copies a bunch of files. Once that's done, it'll pop up with a few screens. So the CureCoin wallet software is running in the system tray. If it does pop up, just move it out of the way. You'll want to leave that open. It'll be used during this initial setup process, so just leave it open and move it off to the side. So there's a few different steps that you need to go through to get set up. The first three options here would be to get the Folding at Home software, get a Bitcoin address, and set up the CureCoin folding pool. So typically any of the new users are going to want to do all three of these. Any existing users, you're probably going to want to uncheck all three of these if they're not unchecked already. And then just click OK. So this first step, it goes out to Stanford University's website and grabs the Folding at Home software. There is a download progress bar up here at the top. Just wait for that to download. It'll pop up with an installer. And pretty much a typical installer. The default options in the installer are what you're going to want to use. So you can kind of go through this pretty quickly. If you want to install for all users, you can do that through this custom install, but typically just the express install is going to work for most people. So once this finishes, go ahead and just click Finish. You do want to start the Folding at Home software in the background. So once again, leave that running. It's going to pop up some windows. So in your default web browser, you'll most likely get the web control software that pops up here. So we're not going to use this. We're going to set up this information in the FoldingBrowser. So you can just close this out. A lot of the times it might be handy to just click this Stop Folding and just let it sit there in the background. So we're going to go through the setup for Folding at Home. You're going to want to pick a username. You'll want to make sure it's kind of short. If you'd like to earn CureCoin, the username can't exceed 50 characters. So you'll get a warning saying that you're over the character limit. So you'll want to just make it a little bit shorter. And you pretty much need to stick to just alphabetical characters and numbers. Any special characters are pretty much not going to work. So the separator for now, it's all or FLDC. Either one gives you the same merged folding options in terms of what you get. So feel free to pick either one, whichever one's going to work out better in your username. The counterparty Bitcoin address, this was just assigned to you from the CounterWallet website. So this is going to be your Bitcoin address. It's part of your username as well. So number 2 here, select a team. If you'd like to earn CureCoin, you're going to need to be on the CureCoin team. If you're not interested in CureCoin and you want to be on some other team, feel free to pick the FoldingCoin team or any team of your choosing. Just go find their team number from like the stats page here and input that number in for other team. But for the most part, you're pretty much going to want to be on the CureCoin team. to earn CureCoin, and you're going to want to have a FoldingCoin compatible username. So once you've got those two things, the third thing to do here is to get a passkey. You're going to want to input your email address there. And click the Get Passkey button. So that may take a few seconds. So give it a little bit of time and go check your email. Once you get that, just make sure you copy and paste exactly that long string of letters and numbers. You do not want to modify this at all. So this passkey, what this enables you to do is get a quick return bonus for most of the Folding at Home credits. So it doesn't kick in for the first 10 work units you do, so your points might be a little bit lower for the first 10. But after that, this passkey will enable you to get the quick return bonus, which will boost your points. So once you've got all that, you just click the Save button. This is going to save your settings to the Folding at Home software, which should be open and running in the background. And it just takes a second, and then you can click the OK button here. You can click the Show Changes button. It shows you what your stats looked like before and after, or your configuration file. Typically, you're not going to need to mess with that. If you want to save these settings to another machine on your local network, you can put in the IP address here. The port should be the same, and the password specified in the Folding at Home software. You can just specify all that. And once you do that, you can just click Save from your Windows computer and save it to any of the other computers on your network. So if you've got a Linux box or some other machine somewhere else in your network, you can just configure them that way. So the last step here, one of the last steps, is to go sign up on the CryptoBillions folding pool. This is for earning CureCoin. So you'll want to go through. This information was information you've already provided, and then you want to just enter the CAPTCHA text in from this image right here. And it is case sensitive, so make sure you double check it. Make sure it's okay. And once you've got that in there, just click OK. And the next thing here is you're going to want to click the I'm not a robot checkbox and solve the CAPTCHAs. So this typically takes a few CAPTCHAs, so just bear with it and try and do your best. It'll probably take about 5 of these to get through it. So once you're not a robot, just click the login button. And the FoldingBrowser is going to go in, set the payment address, your CureCoin address, and your automatic payout threshold to 1. So that happens pretty quickly. And then the final message here is just giving you some informational notes. You're going to want to click the Make a Backup button here. We'll do that in just a moment. The payouts for FoldingCoin is once a month on the first Saturday. The CureCoin payout is daily. CureCoin, it probably takes a day or two for it to kind of all kick in and work, so just give it a day or two. And if you have any questions, there's a Slack button for the FoldingCoin Slack, as well as a Slack button for the CureCoin Slack. So if you've got any questions, just jump in there and ask your questions. So for your settings, these are all the settings that were saved during the initial install. You can view the passwords if you want to. Most of this information you don't want to show to anyone, and you want to keep it to yourself and put it in a safe place. Make backups regularly, that kind of stuff. So we're going to make a backup to a USB drive. You just click the button and go find your USB drive. and the folding browser will make a folder wherever you select, and it'll have a unique name with settings from whenever you did your last backup. So once you've done that, you can just click close. You could go check those backup settings if you'd like to. There's a README file here. This tells you the location where you'd need to restore each one of these files to restore the backup if you need to. So if you need to get back to the Make a Backup button in the Folding browser, there's a Tools checkbox up in the upper right. You can just click that. This Save Data button is right there. So feel free to go in there. If you need to change anything, you can. You shouldn't need to, though. The Folding browser has multiple wallets. You're typically not going to use any of them other than the first one. If you would like to give this a more user-friendly name, like my wallet, you can just type in whatever you'd like and then hit the Enter key, and that will save the name on the wallet. Otherwise, it's just the first part of your Bitcoin address. So any of the steps, if you had any trouble in running through those 3 checkboxes from the beginning, those 3 checkboxes are right here. This would be the first one, the second one, and then the third one would be number 4 here. So this third button, if you need to change your username or any of this stuff, you can just go back in and do that. If you do change your username, you do need to update and get a new CureCoin account to match your new username. So typically you're going to want to stick with whatever username you've got. And if you've got any other computers on your network that you set up, you're going to want to use the same information on all the machines that you've got. So your FoldingCoin will go to this address, and your CureCoin will go to your CureCoin address. So we'll run through those real quickly. So these buttons along the top here, My Wallet, this is going to be your counter wallet. So once you earn some FoldingCoin and it gets paid out on that first Saturday during the next month, you'll get a blue square here for FoldingCoin, and it'll show you your balance in FoldingCoin. Counter wallet does have a built-in exchange. You can play with that if you want to trade anything for XCP. Typically, most people are going to want to send their coins to one of the other exchanges for FoldingCoin, either Bittrex or Poloniex. You can send your coins there and then trade them for any of the coins that they've got on their exchanges. So we're going to hop out of this. The FA control button here, the Folding at Home control, this is just going to be the web control for Folding at Home. The advanced control is running in your system tray down in the lower right, typically. You can click on advanced control and it'll pop up, show you the status. You may need to adjust how many CPU cores you're using. If you've got a GPU or multiple GPUs, you might need to modify this for whatever your setup is. Typically, your CPU core count here needs to be an even number if you've got more than 4. So keep that in mind. Sometimes this picks a bad number. 14 probably wouldn't be bad, but if it picked 7, you might want to change it down to 6 or 4. If you've got multiple GPUs on your computer, you might not even want to do any CPU folding. If you do CPU folding, you're going to want at least 1 core available for each GPU. So keep that in mind when you're doing your setup. So if you need to change it, you can just go in, click the configure button, and modify it. The other system tray item that was running is the CureCoin wallet. So that's going to take a while to sync up to the blockchain. Once it does, then you can close it out. If you do want to close it out ahead of time, you can. It'll just pick up where it left off. But I guess some of the things to note in the CureCoin wallet is if you click on Receive Coins, this will be your wallet address right here. You can just click on it and say copy. Typically, once this syncs up and a day or two goes by, you should start to see your CureCoin payout show up here. And a lot of the times, it's a good idea to make a backup. You can click the Make a Backup button, and it does pretty much the exact same thing as the backup wallet here. You can also encrypt your wallet. This is kind of a good thing to do. You will have to go in and unlock your wallet for doing proof of stake. So CureCoin has a 1% proof of stake reward for leaving your wallet open and helping support the network. So any of the transactions you've got after 30 days of them sitting in your wallet are eligible for the proof of stake, I'll call it lottery. Those transactions kind of get picked at random, and you would receive a small reward, typically 1%, of the transaction for, you know, supporting the network and verifying transactions and stuff. So those are some of the things about the CureCoin wallet. Some of the other buttons in the FoldingBrowser here, just the FoldingCoin homepage. And next button here, blockchain. So there's two of these blockchain buttons. The first one, this one's a counterparty enabled blockchain explorer. This will show you your FoldingCoin as well as any other tokens that you've got. If you click on the BTC only one, Bitcoin blockchain explorers are only going to show you the Bitcoin transactions. So don't worry about FoldingCoin not showing up if you click on your wallet and look at it with this blockchain explorer. It's just not going to be there. So some of the other things, the Slack I mentioned, this would be for the FoldingCoin Slack. This one would be for the CureCoin Slack. The distribution button here, after a day or two has gone by, you can click on the distribution button. This is set up to show you for a day. So if you want to see a different day, you can adjust the dates. If you want to see for a larger time interval, you'll need to adjust the dates and then figure out how many days and multiply the daily payout by that and update this number for your FoldingCoin stats to be correct. So you'd click on Show Stats. Once this comes up, it takes a few seconds. You would go find your Bitcoin address. I'm just going to pick one as an example. So it's got your before and after folding at home points. So it gives you your net points for the time period. If you scroll down to the bottom here, there's another section. This will show you how many folding at home, how much FoldingCoin you've earned for the amount of points that were specified above. So you can go in and make sure that your Bitcoin address is showing up and see how much FoldingCoin you're getting per day. You're definitely going to have to wait a day or two for this to start showing up. So be patient, and if you've gone like 3 or 4 days and your Bitcoin address is not showing up here, you'll probably want to either ask some questions or look at your setup just to make sure everything's configured properly. So for the CureCoin stuff, the CureCoin website, You can go through these at your leisure. The blockchain explorer is very similar. This shows you your CureCoin wallet and any transactions that have happened with this address. The CureCoin coins are on a separate blockchain from the Folding coins. So FoldingCoin is on the Bitcoin blockchain, CureCoin is on the CureCoin blockchain. They're separate. Some of the other things here, let's see. The pool login, this will take you back to the Crypto Bullions pool if you need to change any of your settings. And the extreme overclocking stats, this is good. Once a day or two has passed, your address will show up and you'll get some stats. It'll show you your folding at home points. Pretty much every 3 hours this website updates and you can kind of just check in on it. Initially, you might not show up in the search right away in the first day or so of submitting points. You could click on this new link and find your username in the list here. You'll show up a little bit quicker than you will just using the normal search. So that's pretty much it.